Make the seats creak.
I remember entering 2020 like, this is gonna be awesome. And I'll never forget, it was a Thursday, I think March 12th, and we gathered as leadership and said, hey, there's this pandemic thing going on. We think it would be wise to probably not meet this Sunday. We'll give it a couple of weeks and we'll probably be back and everything will be normal. And we didn't meet for 17 weeks.
Mike just reminded us that what we want to do is we want to be helpful. So we started reaching out to some of the local healthcare workers, doctors and nurses in our community and saying, what do you wish we would do? How do you wish we would respond? And they said, we wish you would just close your doors for a while. We are just getting overrun. We had that conversation and we had already made the decision that in order to be helpful in our own community, we were going to close our doors for a time.
So during this time, as we are suspending our weekend services, we will be practicing spiritual connection by moving our experiences online. I'm grateful that we have the technology and the staff who know how to use that technology that will allow us to stay connected in this way.
We had to really lean in and like, okay, God, you've always provided. And we wanted to be helpful. It became a very divisive season, and we just had to stay really focused on what we felt God was asking us to do. Based on the lessons we had learned from the hurricane, we were able to mobilize our church and be helpful for what was going on in our community and actually around the world. And so the pandemic also gave us an opportunity to rethink church.
Now you're having to figure out, okay, how are we going to connect people when we don't have a Sunday gathering? What's going to happen? How are we going to navigate all these things? And even when we began to meet the helping center, the food distributions, the food deliveries, all the things we were doing during those times, everybody who was on our campus was not here to attend a service. They were here to serve in some capacity. But what I've seen in people who've been around Port City for a long time, they show up here and they're not just attending a service, they're bringing something of themselves that's contributing to who we are. And that to me is the thing that fuels me more today than almost anything else, because the potential of that to really move into the world in meaningful ways and in profound places becomes really just limited by our willingness to extend ourselves, to our community.
And I think that was what was critical about 2020. It was really a process of refining our vision, because we had our mission. It was well implanted to reach people and help them walk with God. But then to have the vision, like, why does that mission exist? And it was for life with God together for the world. Those two critical events between the hurricane and the pandemic really became the kind of the bookends that I think completed what our calling is as a church. To have that as our past, as the base foundation, and as we sit here celebrating 25 years, we get to launch off of that platform with a clarity to our mission, excitement around our vision, and that becomes what we get to launch into the future with, and that excites me.
In 1999, you dream of what a church could be like. And it's limited because you don't know, I didn't know anything really. But you dream about this and this helpful and all these things that you want this church that you're going to be a part of to be. One of our younger staff members, I asked her, how has the mission and vision of Port City Church become yours?
I am the way that I am because I first found a sense of belonging. It was a sense of belonging I found in my internship as a member of our church, and a sense of belonging that I now get to feel on a staff team. Because to be so honest, I'm not at all convinced that becoming would be compelling without belonging. And that what radically changed my perspective is realizing that my focus should be a part of a collective, a group of people, of belonging to something with a greater focus than self-ambition.
She came into our church after it had been up and running for 20 years. And now she's describing what I dreamed 25 years before. And it's just unbelievable.